Hi, I appreciate it has been quite a while realistically since I've put a video up, and I'll just get into it about what has been happening, what's been going on. So, that last video that I put up where I was in the car was the sort of the turning point, I think, for me. A lot of what I said in that video about just fed up being where I was and not feeling comfortable where I was and stuff like this, it really ignited a fire in me that has kind of been bubbling for a while. The issue is that I genuinely believe, based on my own experience and what I've seen of others, is that people don't really do any sort of changes until they're like really, really ready. And you only know that you're ready when you basically don't feel that there's any other option, and you change, you make change happen. Since that video, I've been trying to kind of rein back my focus to make it very, very, I don't know what the word is, but I pull it back. So I'm very focused on the things that I can change and things that have a proper impact. It's been a case of trying to move with purpose and trying to do stuff for purpose, for reason, not just spend too long procrastinating or finding reasons and excuses to delay things or put off things or anything like this. It's become a very focused time, I think. So off the back of that, I've not really known what to say in a video or what to do. I think that it comes to a point where people won't take me seriously anyway. So the only way I've been questioning is will people start to take me seriously if obvious change happens? And for the most part, the change that I know that I can influence the most is my health and fitness. It's the one thing that we can all do to ourselves that makes us potentially feel better about ourselves, but also has an impact on people outside of us, because it's like we change how we look physically, and that can increase our confidence, it can increase our own self-esteem, which then can have an overflow effect on people we interact with and things like this. So for the last month, I've kicked myself in the arse to move with purpose a little bit more. I've started to get into a little bit more exercise. Nothing too serious, nothing too extreme. Serious isn't true. I am very serious about what I do, but I'm very aware that I can always do more. But the reason why I allow myself that little bit of a gap to do more is because I also know I am very prone to injury. Like right now, I've got an inflamed knee, and I might have broke a metacarpal or a metatarsal in my foot. And I've just been doing steady exercise. The whole point of doing it steadily is so that it allows me to increase in increments. I feel that if I increase in increments, I'm more likely to stay the course, and it becomes like a proper habit rather than, like a diet where you blitz it for 6 to 8 weeks, knack yourself out, and then regress. It's something that I've tried to do with more purpose and more focus. I've been out walking every day, and I don't go far, if you like. It's not like a massive hike, but it's about 5 miles. So I'll do 5 miles every day. I've started to do a little bit of bodyweight exercises here and there, but the point is that I'm doing it every single day without fail. Rain or shine, tired, whatever. Every single day it happens without fail, and it's doing it with purpose. I've also increased protein intake, which is something that I know there's a lot of wishy-washy kind of science around it, but I was looking back at when I was younger and how I felt when I was younger, and sort of what was I doing when I was younger. And it's really simple things that we take for granted as we get older. We kind of leave them in the past. When I was a kid, I was more active. I wouldn't say that I ate healthier, because I eat pretty healthy now, but I did have more protein. I had a better sense of, I slept better rather, and I also drank a lot more water. So that's basically what I've tried to do now, and do it with purpose and focus. So like I say, I exercise more now than I have done for a while, and there's always that extra increment that I can do, and I leave it there so that I can increment it and increment it and increment it so that I stay the course. I've started to make sure that I'm drinking at least 2 litres of water every day. There's a little bit of caveat to that, in that I will have it with squash, a flavour, because I just can't keep burying my head into just drinking water. I need something that's got a little bit more flavour to it. I used to force myself to just drink purely water, but it's like, have a little bit of flavour to it. Something makes it so much easier to do. So that's what I've been doing. It's not necessarily cheating the system as such, but it's allowing you to do those things that you want to do in a way that you want to do them, and be able to do it. Sleep is probably the most complicated thing for something that is so simple. So the start of August is when everything was really, really focused, and I was getting into bed no later than 10 p.m. and I felt actually so much better for it. That one change, and that one change alone probably trumped everything else. Getting a decent night's sleep was the best change that I've done. It beat extra protein, it beat exercise, it beat water, it beat everything. It had the most noticeable impact. The problem that I have with it is, and I don't know why, is I find it easy not to do. It's become something that has kind of started to fade out as we've got through towards the end of August. And I don't know why, because, and I've spoke to my counsellor about it, I can see the benefit when I do it. I'm aware of the benefit when I do it. And because I'm doing everything with purpose, there isn't actually any reason for me to be awake longer than I am. So every sign says that going to bed at that time is a good thing. And yet, I find it the hardest habit to continue. I find it so easy to lose track of time and just drift into a world of procrastination again late at night. So that is one thing that I'm really trying to be very aware of. And I keep asking myself when I'm, when it's late, when it's like 11, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, what is the purpose for me to still be awake at this time? And I don't have a good answer to that, because there isn't one. Realistically, there isn't one. I've actually just tried to focus more on what I do at work. Like I say, do everything with purpose, try and do everything right, try and get it good, try and be able to function, a good percentage all of the time. As a result of that, work have also turned to me again, and they've put a proposition my way, which again sees a potential increase in wage, which, by the way, I've worked at this place since January this year, January 2024. I have had so far 2 wage increases with a conversation of a third. That is the most that I've ever had in my entire working career since working washing lorries at 14 years old. It blows my mind that even now I am on more, percentage wise, in terms of from minimum wage, the furthest gap from minimum wage now is the most I've ever been on. That includes when I was a fully qualified electrician. I don't understand. So I feel that by narrowing my focus down, it might seem a little bit ignorance is bliss, but I've tried to be focused on very specific things. Like I say, be focused on myself and my health, and be focused on my work. Literally those two things. Everything else is just, it's the question of, do I need to do this? What's the purpose behind this? If I do this, am I moving with purpose in order to do X, Y, Z? Now, it is easy to find purpose, don't get me wrong. So it's not a case of just throwing everything away and going, for example, I'm not going to see my friends because they just get in the way. What's the point? I allow myself to acknowledge that we need to be social. We need to do things and have downtime in order to be able to function all the time. I don't believe that you can put 100% of yourself into just narrow focus, bang, 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 all the time, and not allow yourself time to relax, enjoy, whatever it might look like. So I allow myself to acknowledge that the purpose of seeing my friend is to have that fucking social interaction that we need. There's a lot more off the back of that is, do I need to, spend all day gaming with my friends? No, I don't. I can give a couple of hours. We can have a little bit of a social interaction, do whatever. But beyond that, it's sort of a means to an end. So I think from my own side of everything, by trying to be more purposeful and almost limiting time spent doing certain activities, I actually feel like it's a more rewarding thing. I look forward to things that were just a habit before because I limit my time doing them. So it's almost like watching a film that you get really excited, and it's like, there's a second film, but you for whatever reason it's not like out on Netflix yet, so you can't find it to watch it, but that excitement's there, but you kind of, for want of a better word, you're edging yourself. And I think that's what seems to work, is it keeps that hunger there. And it's been an interesting experience because I've wondered, what change happens. But definitely internally, I felt more of a focus, more of a determination to try and do something. I've stopped worrying about the outcome. I think it's the best thing. Like I said to my counsellor, is I can worry about the things that I would like and what I don't have. And I can try my hardest to do whatever I can to achieve those things, but ultimately those things still might never happen. And then you burn out with all that kind of stress in that middle bit. And I think it was Jim Rohn that said the most important thing about becoming a millionaire isn't making the first million, it's what you learn about yourself along the way. And it feels that that's where I'm at now, with this kind of focus to be more determined to move with purpose. The outcomes, the end goals, whatever, they're just bonuses. It's what I'm learning along the way. It's what I'm learning about myself and the sort of the paths that I take and the discoveries I find are way more important than the outcome. I know it sounds corny and it's really hard to explain, but that's where I've kind of been, really. As a result of that, I haven't obviously put many or any videos out because I haven't really known what to say, because it's a sort of, I was looking back across things and there's too much talking, and I didn't feel that I was achieving anything. And now potentially I've gone too much the other way, where like the focus is there to just focus and focus and focus, but then I'm missing out on the interactions and the videos to talk to you guys. And I know a couple of people say that these videos help. And I know for sure that they've helped me. For sure they've helped me. But a lot of it came down to wanting to be taken serious in life, and that's also within myself. Like, I want to take myself serious. And what I found really interesting is, in terms of taking people seriously, I spoke to a mate the other week, and I don't know how we got onto it. We can probably talk about this. Now, don't get me wrong, this is happening because when I go through these like focus phases, I don't focus about how I look in terms of how I present myself. I know that might sound a bit weird. I know it's 2024, everybody's supposed to care about how you're seen to the outside world, but I've never really had that. For me, it's focusing on my health and my wealth, and it's like I'll put the effort in, I'll do the training, my body will transform in whatever way it transforms, and then when I'm at a point, then I'll neaten myself up a bit. Does that make sense? So, like, the facial hair growth has just been because I just haven't shaved. There's no other reason to it other than that I just haven't shaved. I haven't been bothered to. So I just wanted to, again, cut out something that didn't really have a reason for me to shave. I prefer to be clean shaven, but there's no purpose to it. I'm not seeing anybody. I'm not trying to see anybody. You know, so as wrong as it is, I don't feel that it matters. So, off the back of that, I was speaking to my mate, and my mate has got a full face beard. And we got on somehow to the conversation about how he wasn't taken seriously in life until he started to grow a beard. And then he said he can literally remember the day from when it was like a week off of his work, and he went back the next, 2 weeks later, he had a full face beard, and he said people interact with you so differently because you've got a beard. And what that did for me was give me this interesting intrigueness towards what things make people take others seriously, and why we can't take each other seriously with what we're presented with. It's like we have a certain thing in our head that, we will give that person our full attention for a change, rather than just, turning up and, whatever, cool, say what you like, get on with it. I don't know. It's been an interesting one, and I'm going to continue to do it because I feel that I'm really determined to at least try and better myself. And I'm in a nice position where potentially work is good in where I could develop to be. I'm on the right path for a better physical well-being. And as a result of that, I will say that the mental well-being is also gone. It's, gone with it. It's all kind of grown together. That does not mean that I am free of days that I can wake up in the morning and sometimes there's a little part of you that goes, it's the same routine again. Like, what's the point? We're going through the exact same routine again today. We're going to do it tomorrow. We'll be doing it in 5 years' time. What's the point? And listen to that voice tell you what's the point, and break down all your arguments in a really calm way. That's what scares me, is how calm you can sit there and talk yourself into the position of, hey, there isn't a point. Those days are still there. And maybe it's also, I've been lucky because the weather's been great. But that's why I wanted to try and lay the foundations now, do the work now while it's been summer, while the weather has been good, so that as the weather changes, that habits and routines are in place, and then it's just following through and doing them again. I know that September is usually my lowest month mentally. I don't know why that is, I just know that it is. There's an argument for it being seasonal. That's really when you notice the dark nights drawing in, so we'll see how we go, but I'm going to continue to try and do what I can do I would like to continue doing videos and talking to you guys, but at the same time, I don't want to waste your time. I want to, like I say, it feels like everything's got to have some sort of purpose to it. But I thought I'd better check in because, you know, a couple of people have shown a little bit of, it's not even concern. Like, at the end of the day, we're all strangers, but the fact that people have started to leave comments going, we haven't heard from you in a while, I hope you're okay, I really appreciate that. Genuinely really appreciate that. So I thought I'd better try and just open up, come back, be a little bit honest, say what's been going on, have you guys realise there's nothing to worry about, everything is, you know, everything's as well as it has been, everything is as well as it could be. I'm just trying to be more purposeful in what I do. And like I say, as a result of that, in order to do that, my focus has really, really come down to health, well-being and work. Move with purpose. And yeah, don't sweat the big term goals. It's that path, it's the journey. As cheesy as it is, that journey is where we discover so much more. And that's what I'm trying to make the most of now. The thing is, I feel like I'm trying to make up for borrowed time, or lost time rather. I feel that this is something that I should have experienced maybe in my 20s, so like 20 years ago. So I'm trying to really make the most of it now and make every bit matter, so that I can start to work out who the hell I am, how to navigate through this thing we call life, and what it is that I wish to, you know, to do. I try and put down like a 3-year, 5-year, 10-year plan sort of thing, and have it actually mean something and move with purpose. Just trying to move with purpose. Just trying to get through. Just trying to get it done. So far, other than the sleeping thing that's just crazily wishy-washy, it's been working. It has been working. So thank you very much for sticking around. I hope to see you again. I'll be back at some point, without a doubt. But I appreciate everybody. You've been awesome. Thank you very much. And I'll catch you again next time. Cheers, guys. Bye.